let us move into the first talk for our next elite expert, Mr. Rajendran Dandapani. Someone who I know that our students will definitely love. It's an absolute pleasure to introduce our next speaker, a true pioneer for both innovative business solutions and innovative approach to education. Mr. Rajendran Dandapani, Business Solutions Evangelist at Zoho Corporation and President of Zoho Schools of Learning. Rajendran sir has been a pioneering force in the technology world since the very beginning. After famously dropping out of IIT Madras, he was part of the founding team now Zoho Corporation. Though he spent 7 years as Chief Algorithms Officer at Zorago, managing complex projects for clients like Citibank, he returned to Zoho in 2004 and now serves in a dynamic triple role. He spearheads mobile development for Zoho, leading the team that builds mobile apps for their staggering 45 million plus customers. He is also a respected technology evangelist and TEDx speaker dedicated to sharing the hard-earned best practices from his over 24 years of experience. But perhaps the most inspiring work is as president of Zoho Schools of Learning, a powerful social experiment and a viable alternative to conventional college education. A passionate contra-academician who believes the Indian education system needs a reboot. He even put his philosophy into practice by free-schooling his own son, who eventually graduated from the Zoho Schools of Learning and now is his colleague at Zoho Corp. Thank you, sir. We're waiting for your address.
All right. Thank you for this opportunity, and it's always a great experience meeting students, interacting with them, even though this is going to be a little one-directional. For a very long time, we have been learning about AI. In fact, these days in colleges, there are 4-year programs that tell you about AI, probably data science, the new name for once upon a time, statistics, and so on. But I am going to talk to you about 9 things that I think we can learn from AI. How does AI work? And what little but useful lessons we can learn for work, for life, as our career progresses. What can we learn by looking at how AI works? That's the essence of my talk today. 3 things came together. In fact, AI has had a great time, not once, not twice, but thrice before it fell out of fashion. And today it is probably the 4th time it's been having a good time. They called it an AI winter once upon a time. AI is 73 years old. 73 years old. It's not 1 year, 2 year, 3 years old. But this time everything seems to be different, and people are gung-ho about it because these 3 things are coming together. I look at it as data, which is the oil, the gas for your vehicle. Data is everywhere. Even today, as you are seated in your mobile device, there are probably 17 to 25 interactions happening. That's going to the cloud about your battery percentage, your humidity level, whether it's facing up or down, the ambient atmosphere, temperature, everything is being constantly tracked. So we are immersed, we are sinking in data, and data is very useful for AI, and that's happening this time. The second is the processor. In the car example, it would be the engine, the processor. Thanks to all those kids who were playing amazingly fast, highly rich visual graphic games, this GPU came along, and that's actually boosting the AI generation. The third important thing that's falling in place, which is the algorithm, because you can have a great vehicle with full petrol and very powerful engine, but you need the steering wheel to send it in the right direction. So amazing algorithms from companies like DeepMind and NVIDIA are actually making things possible. It is democratizing access to data, access to compute, access to insight generation. So I see these 3 coming together, and you are in the driver's seat. Or you are a passenger. That's the difference. Are you a passenger or are you in the driver's seat? Not about fighting. It's about collaborating. It's about shaking hands with this beast. It's co-intelligence, the way I see it. So when I talk co-intelligence, I'm going to tell you 9 little stories we can take from the world of AI. The first one is this. AI outperforms teleophthalmologists in glaucoma detection. Arvind Eye Hospital study. Same thing is happening in the world of radiology, where X-rays are being sent, and even before a human doctor can detect tumor or something abnormal, the AI is doing it very well. But what they learned, what Google, for example, which did this study, learned is there is a certain threshold. Don't give that learning engine 100% of good data and ask it to derive insights from it. No good. Don't give it 100% of chaotic, confusing, anomalous data and ask it to derive insights from it. They hit upon a beautiful sweet spot, 85-15. 85% of conventional, traditional, straightforward, good, clean data, but 15% of out of the way, outlier data. That, they said, was the best combo between good data and dirty data for deep learning to really happen well. I'm taking a lesson from there. How is your work at college? How is it at school? What is it going to be when you enter the workforce? Do you want every day to be like every other day? Do you want every day to be like no other day? Or is there a sweet spot where 85% of your day is regular, scheduled, methodical, but you reserve 15% of it for the unknown, for the googly, for what will probably really make you learn something new? That's the lesson I take for life by looking at what AI does in its learning. Lesson number 2. When I came here, on my way here, I saw these rivers of blood. There was green, there was blue, but then suddenly it turned red. And how did this little Android phone in my hand detect that it was going to be slow? The road ahead? Was a satellite watching me? Such zoom factor that my vehicle wasn't moving? No. What was actually happening? You know the answer. What was actually happening? My phone was telling where my phone's location was to the nearby cell tower, or probably directly to the satellite through GPS. And simultaneously, many other Android phones next to me were also saying, I am also on the same bridge for a very long time. And an algorithm was able to generate, hey, on this bridge, typically people are supposed to go in a minute. It's taking 15 minutes, so paint it red. We all think, how are we going to fight AI? And we look at AI as a single individual. That's the problem. Why is AI the world's best driver? Because the world's best driver didn't learn by driving itself. It learned from 10,000 cars driving by themselves, finding a pothole, mistaking a man for a post, correcting it, and telling all other self-driving cars, hey, I made this mistake, you don't make it again. So lesson again for me is sharing is the new learning. Competing in that. Learning something and preserving it secretly to yourself and trying to get more marks because the other person hasn't learned it yet, those days are done. Today, if you want to progress, if you want to meaningfully engage with this new beast that comes with 10,000 minds, you need to demonstrate the ability for 10,000 minds. So sharing is the new learning, is the lesson I get. Lesson 3 is about that famous try to generate an image that signs a document from using the left hand. Narendra Modi ji made a very important observation. In fact, this observation is similar to the other one that we have realized about Ask AI to generate a wine glass that's full, not half full, full. It struggles. It won't be able to do it. Because we know the answer. Its training data is so full of right-hand signatures that an Obama also is shown as signing with his right hand. Similarly, wine glasses, all photos that we have all uploaded on Instagram were half full, and so it doesn't understand what full means. There's a lesson right there for us. Trying to get where you want to go, using the techniques that you used to reach where you have come will not work, won't get you there. That's what we are learning. We are seeing AI struggle. Have you tried generating images which are 95% there, and then that 5% you want to correct, and while waiting, they say, yeah, you struggle because it's so steep, so soaked in its old techniques that it can't learn. It's an old dog. It can't learn new tricks. Probably that's the last remaining vestigious differentiation between true human creativity and almost human artificial creativity. Hold on to that. Lesson 4 is about the act of learning itself. This is this famous story in the Bible about David and Goliath. Two beautiful armies, fully packed with fighters, but they don't want bloodshed. They just want the result. So this army says, I'll send my best man. And that they call that army, you send your best man, we will make them fight. Whoever wins, that army is the winner. And these people send a 9-foot-tall giant, Goliath. To carry that spear, he needs 2 people. To carry that spear from home. Everybody runs away. And everybody runs away saying, this guy is so huge, how can I fight him? Everybody runs away. There is that little kid, David, who is not even a fighter, who is in the neighborhood. And he says, he looks at the same large guy and says, he's so large, just like the others said. He's saying, he's so large that I cannot miss. If I use my slingshot and throw the stone at him, I cannot miss. This is mindset. When you approach it with this positive, non-fixed or growth mindset, everything changes. What's the lesson I'm talking about? AI here is the second. What is this guy's weapon? The weapon is the spear he brought. One shot. If he aims, throws, it's going to pierce all armor and kill you. But if it hits, if it misses, to retrieve that spear is such a hard job. He doesn't bring 20 spears from home. That's his weapon. What's our man's weapon? Every stone along the way. Adai prayogam seyya mudiyum. That is how you should be. It's not that a college gives you a set number of weapons to use for life. That's over. That's no longer going to be useful. That's no longer going to be enough. What you instead need to do is learn like David. Learn the ability to learn on the go. Learn how to learn. That's what AI does. That's what zero-shot learning is all about. The first game that the chess program plays against itself, you laugh at it. The 20th game, you're mildly surprised. But the 2 millionth game is world championship level. Learning is the hallmark of any AI. How can we incorporate that into our own day-to-day life is left to you. My favorite. Katy Perry once said, If you are presenting yourself with confidence, you can pull off pretty much anything. I was talking to your placement officer on the way here, and he was asking me, what is left, sir? What is pending? What do you think we need to do to polish our students to make them go to the next level? He was asking me. I think confidence, your ability to bullshit confidently is important, and you can learn that by watching AI. Have you seen that? When chatting with ChatGPT, hey, tappargada, you will say. It will so confident. I have cross-checked. I have done 2 steps. Have you seen that confidence? This swagger. Other Indians also, mostly South Indians. Yeah. Somehow we are proud of our humility. Now beyond the point, that's not going to help. You need a little swagger. Learn it by watching AI. How confidently it bullshits. You must have seen that. Yeah, it will give references from the internet. Click pannadan theriyum, and the link irukve irukadu, but it will generate references. I think a little of that you can incorporate into your life, because, like she says, confidence creates that first good impression, and then you are anyway a lifelong learner. We saw David previously, so you will manage like David. Yeah. Number 6. I'm going to give you a few words. Connect them. Okay, this is a game that I play daily in LinkedIn, and I don't just. It's called Pinpoint. I don't just play it. I play it while in another tab challenging an AI to play it for me. So basically, I'm not playing the game against the system. I'm not playing the game against myself. I'm trying to do it faster than AI, and it always wins. Occasionally, I draw. Okay, what's the game? You have to connect these words. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you can connect even before I give all 5. I do that many times. 2 words vanda unne I will connect. Ear, Olympic throw. Piano. Carpenter. No wrong marks for guessing, yeah? Come on. Ear, piano, Olympic throw, carpenter. They're all connected because there's a bone inside our ear called the hammer. The piano has a hammer. There's a hammer throw in the Olympics, and a carpenter uses hammer. They are hammer as a word, but they are not the hammer as seen as a tool always. AI is very good at this. Creativity, they say, is not about, it's a wrong word actually. Create means uruvakudal. No. Creativity is connecting unusually separate things using as of now unheard of ways and bringing something novel as well as meaningful, useful to humanity. Other than creativity. Putting things together. They didn't usually exist next to each other, but seeing that connection. Cultivate that art. If there is one thing you learn from AI, it should be this art. Because the neural network, convolution, the convolution is all about making connections. So this is one important lesson you can all take from how AI manages its intelligence, so-called intelligence. Look at this, smooth golden sand, rugged rocks frame the shoreline, surfaces reflecting warm hues of sunset. Gentle waves lap against them, creating a sense of calm motion. Crystal blue water glimmers under the sunlight, leading the eye toward a cluster of jagged rock formations emerging gracefully from the shallows. Towering cliffs rise on the left. The sky glows in a gradient of orange, pink and soft blue. A large palm tree with lush green fronds leans in, adding tropical charm. My prompt. That's the picture. We've all done that, haven't you? But what happened inside, do you know? It's happened so fast. These days, ChatGPT doesn't open up what it does, so we don't really know. But this is what actually happened. Watch. Random noise. A little less random. Lot of mistakes, but basic structure there. Palm tree in place, cliffs not there. Some ships are put there. Some human beings, I didn't ask for them. The clouds are all in place, but there is one guy in the left bottom that wasn't asked for. There are 3-4 people who have come on top of the rock now. But everything else is perfect. That guy has come back again. Now we seem to have hit bingo. That's it. This is what happened. What's actually happening? They call it generative adversarial networks. There are 2 networks. It's not one. It's as if there are 2 minds inside. While one mind gets into generate this particular prompt, there is this other mind that is watching the performance of this mind and criticizing it, encouraging it, correcting it, moving it, guiding it. Hey, இது தப்பு. டேய் அந்த கலர் பாரு. டேய் இது கொஞ்சம் பெருசு பண்ணு. இத தொடாதே இது சரியா இருக்கு. Like I was giving feedback. This adversarial network was a very important leap forward in generative AI technology because that's how our mind works, they said. We have an inner critic. All of us have an inner voice. Yeah? Something that wakes us up even when the alarm is probably in silent mode. Probably that wakes us up just 3 minutes before the train stop actually comes. That inner sense. Yeah? Probably that makes us confused between a belt lying on the floor and a snake. This inner voice, over time, we have started to ignore it. We have stopped listening to it. Or probably we try to listen to it, but there is so much noise from outside, so much unsolicited feedback coming to us that we don't really pay attention to that inner voice. Lesson from AI. Adversarial networks are the way forward. Pay attention to your inner voice. That doesn't sleep. They call it fast and slow. This is system 2 thinking. Something that keeps working on it in the background. Long after the question was asked, long after something else came along, it'll keep running in your mind and then suddenly it pops up with the answer. Pay attention to that inner voice. That's my lesson when I look at GAN. There's a crater in Africa. Ngorongoro is the name of that crater. This crater, volcanic crater, long ago used to be an active volcano, erupted, now dormant, extinct. It has very steep sides. So along the inclined plane, zebra, lions, giraffes all came along, and seeing lush green in the crater, they went down the crater without realizing they can't climb back up. So the Ngorongoro crater is a national park. Actually, you can visit it. This Ngorongoro crater has all living things like bison, nilgai, giraffe, zebra, lions. But it is a closed ecosystem. Recently, they had a crisis. And the crisis was, there was a certain disease spreading, some viral disease spreading, and suddenly everybody in that group fell ill. It was not one person ill, we will cure that with an injection, other animals are safe, just keep this away. It was not like a typical jungle. The Ngorongoro crater was a very delicate system because This guy and this guy were brother sister, born to this guy. But this brother and sister gave birth to this guy. Because there is no outside impact. உள்ளுக்குள்ளேயே கல்யாணம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. Inbreeding, they call it. Because the creator has limited contact with the outside world. You must have heard of this. Why is ChatGPT 5 not as much better than ChatGPT 4 as ChatGPT 3 was better than ChatGPT 2? ரெண்டை விட 3 எவ்வளவு நன்றாக இருந்ததோ அவ்வளவு நன்றாக 4ஐ விட 5 ஏன் இல்லை? இதுதான் காரணம். Because when ChatGPT 3.5 came along, you know what it ate? It ate your Instagram post, your Facebook post, your Medium article, all handmade, taken photograph. You know what 4 ate? Your Instagram post, but you had used AI. Your Medium post, but you had used AI. Basically, it was eating its own. That is a lesson hiding there for us too. Don't live in cocoon. ஏன்னா AI பத்தி தெரிஞ்சுக்க வேண்டியவங்க AI ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இல்ல, மெக்கானிக்கல் இன்ஜினியரிங் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், பயோடெக்னாலஜி ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், இங்கிலீஷ் ஆர்ட்ஸ் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ். அவங்களுக்காக தான் இந்த டூல். Number 9. This man, his name is Isidore Rabai. He is the reason you are able to go take an MRI scan. எவ்வளவு ஸ்கேன் பண்ணிருப்பீங்க அம்மாக்கு தாத்தாக்கு பாட்டிக்கு. MRI scan is thanks to this guy. He is a Nobel laureate in physics, 1950s, and he is a Jew. The interviewer, the journalist, went to Mr. Isidore Rabai and asked him, "Sir, I have a question. Please don't mind me asking. I visited your family where you were born. I visited that village and I talked to the people there. And I found out what they were all doing, all the kids you went to school with. One is a barber, one is a truck driver, another is a doctor. Most of them are businessmen. Many are employees. Some are farmers. Physicist, only you. Nobel laureate, only you. How? What made the difference?" And Isidore Rabai is supposed to have answered after a little thought, "I don't see a big difference. I'm not smarter than those people. But yes, I can tell you one thing. Whenever we all went home, toting our lunch boxes and backpacks, happily about to go play, when we went home, all those people, their moms and dads asked them, 'Did you give a good answer today? Did you get good marks today? Did you win a prize today? Were you a good boy today? Did you answer the question asked by the teacher today?' And you know what my mom asked me? My mom asked me, 'Isidore, did you ask a good question today?' அந்த மேட்டர் இருக்கு இல்லையா, that is what set me apart from all these other kids அப்படின்னு this Nobel laureate said. We are not the fastest animal. We are not the tallest animal. We are not the strongest animal. We are not capable of swimming underwater. We can't climb trees. Our ancestors could, but we can't. But still, that man, how is that man at the head of this pyramid, the apex? How? Abdina, the answer to that is why. His ability to question, his ability to ask, his or her, their ability to ponder over why should things be like this? Why can't they be like that? This is likely to happen. What AI can do to you is this. Somebody offers you a brain and you say, "No thanks, I use AI." Don't let this happen, because all the million years of evolution that put you on top is because of that 3-pound little thing, grey gooey mass, which for the first time is threatened, not because an equivalent brain has come, but because foolishly the brain has started thinking that the brain is not important because we have AI now. அதை மட்டும் ஆக விட்டுறாதீங்க. என்ன பண்றீங்களோ பண்ணலையோ, keep exercising your brain. Detox from AI. That's my last message. How many of you noticed this guy has only 4 fingers? It's an AI generated picture. That's why. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Artificial intelligence. The questions we've been asking are, how do we beat it? How do we banish it? How do we break it? These are the questions we asked. But I think we all understood the questions we should be asking. How do we learn from it? We got the answer, right? 9 significant ways. Thank you so much, Rajendran sir. We promise to pick up our slingshots today and be the Davids of tomorrow. Now, an interesting thing for all of us. Can we ask sir questions? Any questions you guys have?
Sir, you have homeschool your own son, right? So, if you are given a chance to design a curriculum with no digital tools, a homeschool curriculum, but with only real-world experiences, it could be your own or any other real-world experiences, how would it be and why, sir?
Okay, so a little too early for you, but the answer to that, the answer to probably every such thought in our minds is, for a very long time we grew up under the assumption that education was for the chosen few. Education was inside brick walls. Education was inside special libraries, only one copy of that book available, and so on. That has to be broken. That is being broken these days. Open courseware is the way to go. Coursera is the way to go. And ChatGPT Learner Mode is the way to go. What is probably the right thing to do is take many gurus. It's not about one mentor, one idol, one person to follow. Pick a lot from a lot. Be an apprentice to many of them. When you start thinking, I am in learner mode, and then I'll get into work mode, and then eventually I'll get into retire mode, is by doing it yourself. Right? Socrates said it 2,500 years ago. You cannot learn to swim by reading a book, learn 21 days, swimming in 21 days. You have to jump into the pool. In fact, good swimmers and good coaches even say, you can't learn to swim if you are in the shallow end. You can't learn to swim if you wear a rubber ring around your body all the time. You need to almost drown, they say. There are swimmers here, I'm sure. Most coaches say that. ரெண்டாவது தடவை நீ மூங்கு, மூணாவது தடவை சாவறதுக்குள்ள நான் பிடிச்சிடுறேன். You will learn swimming. So I think that's the way to go. Yeah. Bleed a little, sweat a lot. You will eventually learn. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Anna from AIML department. So my question to you, sir, this Monday we had an AWS outage. So what do we do in situations like that? Because now we found out that our workplaces like healthcare or fintech depends on cloud-based AI. So who do you think should be held accountable for what happened that day, and what can we do to remain resilient?
Yeah, so if you remember how the Titanic ship sank, it's primarily because the iceberg hit one compartment and they hadn't compartmentalized the ship well enough that it could take a lot of water, still sink, not completely. It was a single point of failure, as they call it. So you should strive to use systems that have multiple points of failure, not single point of failure. Resilient, they call it. That's resilience. The other thing, like our founder, Sridhar Vembu often says, is sovereignty. Be the owner inside India of the systems that you want to use in India. Because at least AWS was a technological glitch. What if there is a Trumpic glitch? You need to defend yourself against Mr. Trump. So sovereignty is important. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And a little complaint about the course name. She said AIML. You need to rewrite it because it's the first 4 letters of aimless.
One more question, please.
Greetings, sir. It was such a pleasure to hear you talk. I'm Varuna Lakshmi, a CSC undergrad. My question is, in today's world where everything is fast-paced, we have everything just one tap away. And we need to be constantly in touch with these AI systems because as we keep hearing, AI is not here to replace us, but people who don't know how to use AI are going to be replaced. And at the same time, what I feel like is really important is to make sure that we are able to hear our inner voice. So for which we need to sit in silence. So while being in contact with these systems on a daily basis, how do we detox ourselves?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Yeah. So speed is not the only thing in life. You need to observe the scenery is what you're saying. And I fully agree to what you're saying. 2 books that I recently finished reading. One is called Genius Makers, about Silicon Valley AI entrepreneurs. And the other is, I'm not yet done with it. The other is called AI Supremacy. It's again about primarily Elon Musk, Demis Hassabis, and Sam Altman. And they paint a beautiful picture. It's beautiful, but it's pathetic in a sense, because this picture is exactly what's happening in this AI world. Imagine a brick wall in front of you, huge brick wall. And imagine 200 cars, race cars, all of them going full throttle because they want to win the race. They want to win the race, they want to be the first. They also know this is that kind of race where the second person, third person, fourth person will not even be known. It's the first person who will be the be all and the end all of it. So this picture, 200 cars, all going full speed, full throttle, wanting to beat the other car. But to what end? To crash onto the wall. This is the picture that's painted in those 2 books. And very beautifully brought out by you. What is the hurry? What is the hurry? Why such a race? There is another book that I'll recommend for your library called Super Intelligence. It is not AGI, it is ASI, Artificial Superintelligence. It's much closer to, they call it singularity, where AI becomes so smart that AI can generate the next version of AI. Right? That's the story they're talking about. Ray Kurzweil is the author. He has written 2 books. He wrote one book 25 years ago. He said the singularity is near. The singularity, where AI generates the next version. You know what's the name of the next book he wrote? Anybody? He wrote it 1 year ago, 2 years ago. The first book was The Singularity is Near. The second book is The Singularity is Nearer. Chilling. You might want to almost stop, yank the plug and say, what am I doing? What is this? Is it fair? Not for me, not for my company, not for my society, but for humanity is the question. So I'm happy that you're having this thought. Form a club, ethical UI, meaningful UI, responsible AI. Do that. All the best.